There's a quiet storm brewing in the world of extreme couponing, and most people have no idea it's happening. One of the most powerful couponing apps ever created, the kind that lets users stack discounts, automate price drops, and sometimes pay next to nothing, is now under serious scrutiny. Government officials and retail giants are watching it closely, and whispers of a potential ban are no longer just rumors. They're turning into real policy discussions. Why? Because this one app has completely flipped the savings game on its head, and not everyone thinks that's a good thing. For years, savvy shoppers have used this tool to cut their grocery bills by 70% or more, often walking out with carts of food for less than the cost of a single item. It sounds like magic, but to regulators and retailers, it looks more like manipulation. The line between smart savings and system abuse is getting thinner, and this app is now in the crosshairs of lawmakers who claim it gives some people an unfair advantage in an already fragile economy. But here's the real twist. No one's officially banned it yet. It still works for now, and the window to use it might be closing faster than you think. In this video, we're going to break down exactly what this app does, why it's under fire, how it slipped past rules for so long, and what you can do before it disappears. If you've ever wanted to slash your grocery bill without spending hours clipping coupons or chasing sales, this might be your last chance. Stick with me, because the truth behind this app and the forces trying to shut it down is more shocking than you'd expect. At first glance, it looks like just another savings app. You sign up, sync your store loyalty cards, and browse deals. But what sets this one apart is how it pulls every possible discount, store sales, manufacturer coupons, digital rebates, even competitor price matches, and stacks them automatically in real time. Most coupon apps make you do the heavy lifting, finding deals, entering codes, and double-checking expiration dates. But this one does the work for you. It watches prices across major chains, alerts you when items drop, and applies discounts without needing you to clip a single coupon. It even combines cashback rewards from third-party rebate platforms, meaning you can sometimes buy a product, get multiple discounts on it, and still receive money back after checkout. The result? People are regularly walking out of stores with $80 worth of groceries for less than $20. In some cases, the system even produces net positive purchases, meaning they're technically getting paid to buy certain items. For budget-savvy families, that sounds like a dream. For retailers and government regulators, it's a system that skirts the edge of fair use. But that's just the surface. Because the more people who use it, the more attention it draws, and the more uncomfortable it makes the people in power. To the average shopper, it feels like a win, less money out of pocket, more food on the table. But to regulators, this app looks like it's rewriting the rules of retail in a way that wasn't meant to happen. The biggest concern? It exploits overlapping loopholes between store policies, manufacturer discounts, and third-party cashback programs. These discounts were never designed to be combined this aggressively, and when thousands of people do it at scale, it starts to shake the foundations of pricing systems that retailers rely on. Regulators are also raising alarms over data. To work its magic, the app collects a huge amount of shopping behavior. What you buy, how often, from where, and even what you ignore. That data is then used to push hyper-targeted promotions, often steering users toward specific brands or stores that have behind-the-scenes partnerships with the app. To some watchdog groups, that's a recipe for manipulation. They worry consumers are being nudged into buying more than they need under the illusion of savings. And there's another issue: tax revenue. When shoppers routinely pay pennies on the dollar for goods, states lose out on sales tax that would normally be collected on full-price items. Combine that with rising concerns about fairness, how some shoppers get access to stacked discounts while others pay full price, and it's no wonder the government is now taking a closer look. But that's not the only pressure the app is facing. On paper, this app is just a smarter way to shop, but it's exposed a deeper divide, one that's quietly growing in retail: the tension between equity and efficiency. The app rewards users who are tech-savvy, persistent, and well-informed. If you know how to navigate its layers of deals, you save big. But if you don't, you're left paying regular prices, even while the person behind you in line gets $40 off the same cart of groceries. Retailers say it creates chaos at the checkout line and fractures customer trust. Two people can buy the exact same items and pay vastly different amounts. That's not just confusing, it's starting to feel unfair. It's especially hard on older shoppers, low-income families without smartphones, or anyone who doesn't have the time to dive deep into the mechanics of digital couponing. Meanwhile, the app's defenders argue the opposite. They say it's leveling the playing field. Instead of relying on paper coupons or waiting for Sunday circulars, everyday people can now access advanced savings tools that were once reserved for extreme couponers. It's automation for the underdog. And in an era of rising grocery prices, they argue that shouldn't be punished, it should be celebrated. But that ideological tug-of-war has caught the attention of policymakers. Because the bigger this app grows, the more it forces an uncomfortable question. Should savings be based on knowledge and access, or should everyone get the same deal, no matter what? Behind the scenes, some of the biggest names in retail have been sounding the alarm. And they're not doing it quietly anymore. While consumers may see the app as a money-saving miracle, many store executives view it as a growing liability. Loss margins are tightening, shelves are being cleared faster than they can be restocked, and customer service lines are flooded with complaints about discounts that didn't apply, promo codes that vanished, or receipts that weren't honored. Some stores have already started taking matters into their own hands. Quietly, they're rewriting coupon policies, limiting how many discounts can stack, and tightening return rules for transactions involving third-party savings. Others are blocking integration altogether, refusing to process promotions submitted through the app or flagging accounts suspected of abuse, even if the user is just playing by the app's rules. Behind closed doors, several retail chains have reportedly lobbied regulators, claiming the app undermines their ability to set fair pricing structures. They argue it's distorting shopping behavior, encouraging bulk purchases of discounted items that were never meant to be bought en masse. One executive even called it legalized arbitrage at the checkout line. The irony? Many of these same companies once partnered with similar platforms for data sharing and promotion, but now that the savings are cutting too deep, they're hitting the brakes. And that friction is pushing the app closer to a showdown it might not survive. But the most surprising twist is still ahead. What started as a clever workaround is now catching the eye of legal experts, and not in a good way, as the app's user base explodes. So do the risks tied to fraud, misuse, and data scraping? Some regulators claim it's operating in a gray zone, blending public discount codes with private offers never meant for mass redistribution. In simple terms, it's taking loopholes and turning them into business models. And while that might thrill bargain hunters, it's making attorneys nervous. Several retailers allege that users are exploiting system vulnerabilities, submitting the same receipt to multiple apps, generating fake barcodes, or using automation tools to flood rebate platforms with bulk submissions. These aren't just harmless tricks. In some cases, they may violate terms of service, intellectual property laws, or even federal coupon redemption rules. And that's exactly why enforcement agencies are stepping in. The FTC and state attorneys general haven't formally named the app yet, but in recent months, officials have increased scrutiny of tech platforms that promote deceptive promotional practices, especially those that rely on scraping retailer databases or bypassing loyalty restrictions. If the app ends up on their radar, it could face fines, forced shutdowns, or lengthy legal battles. What's more, some privacy advocates are raising red flags about how the app collects user data. With access to scanned receipts, shopping patterns, and even geolocation data, it's sitting on a goldmine of consumer behavior. And if that data is sold or mishandled, users won't just lose discounts. They could be exposing their financial habits to third-party brokers without realizing it. The cracks are forming. And depending on what happens next, this app could be forced to pivot or disappear entirely. If you've been relying on this app to save a few extra bucks, now's the time to rethink your strategy. But don't panic just yet. The future might be uncertain. But there are smart ways to protect your savings and stay ahead of the curve. First, make sure to use the app regularly while it's still fully functional. Those deals won't last forever. Keep an eye on app updates and any news from retailers so you're not caught off guard by sudden changes. At the same time, diversify your savings toolkit. Combine the app with traditional couponing methods, like store loyalty cards, printable coupons, and cashback apps, to maximize your discounts without depending solely on one platform. Don't forget to shop during clearance events or special promotions, which often stack with other offers for extra savings. Most importantly, stay informed. Follow trusted sources for updates on coupon policies, retailer shifts, and regulatory news so you can adapt quickly. And remember, the best savings come from being flexible and resourceful, not relying on a single hack. So keep using what works, but be ready to pivot. The couponing world is evolving fast, and those who adapt will always come out ahead. Now that you know what's happening behind the scenes with this extreme couponing app, it's clear that the landscape is shifting fast. While the app has been a game changer for savvy shoppers, the challenges it faces, from retailer pushback to legal scrutiny, mean that its days might be numbered. But don't let that discourage you. Understanding these changes gives you a powerful advantage to stay one step ahead and protect your savings. If you found these insights helpful, we'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below sharing your experiences with couponing apps or any tricks you've discovered along the way. Your thoughts not only inspire others, but also help us create content that truly matters. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time to hit that button and turn on notifications so you don't miss future updates that could save you money and hassle. Thank you for joining us today. Your support means everything and motivates us to keep bringing you the best tips and insider info. Stay sharp, keep saving, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.